Hello everyone, this is your local real estate agent Brandon Barkema here in this video to show you how to change out an exterior light fixture. One thing to know about exterior light fixtures, or this one outdoor lantern, is some of them will have a motion sensor on them or a photocell that turns on from dusk to dawn. This one doesn't, but if you do want one that has the ability to turn on when someone walks by, just make sure you look for that on the box because not all of them come with that. But anyway, what we're going to need for this project is obviously the outdoor light. We're going to need, I recommend getting a pencil tester. They're about $20 at Home Depot. They call them a non-contact voltage tester, just to make sure that the power's turned off so we don't get electrocuted. May need some wire strippers. We're going to need a flathead screwdriver and most likely a Phillips screwdriver as well. So Phillips one, it has a cross pattern. It was actually invented in 1933 by a guy named John Thompson, which it's called Phillips, but his name was Thompson. But anyway, it was named after a businessman from Portland, Oregon, named Henry Frank Phillips, in case you wanted some history on it. But anyway, first thing we're going to want to do is turn the power off. I recommend doing it at the breaker just to make sure the whole circuit's off. Some people just turn it off at the light switch because there's no power coming there. But anyway, we're going to go in, turn off the power, and then we'll start disassembling this to put the new one on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take this off. I'm going to take the glass off here so we can access the panel behind it. Alright. Light bulb out as well. And right here is a screw to take it off the wall itself. Right here, if you bought one that has motion sensor or anything like that, you can adjust the settings on it for how long it stays on, how wide the angle is, things like that. But I'm just going to take this guy off. Alright, before we get started, if you have any concern with electrical, things like that, my disclaimer would be to hire a professional to come do it, but they're very simple to do. So we're going to take our voltage tester and we're just going to make sure that the power is turned off. So as you can see, it's not making any noise. It would beep and this light would turn red if there was voltage going through the line. Since there's not, we know it's safe to handle, and these are dead wires at that point. So we have two wires that are showing right here. We have black, which is your hot, and then white, which is your neutral wire. And then in the back, which we can't really see, there's a ground wire as well, which is green, or a bare copper wire. That would be your ground wire. So first thing we want to do is take off this by taking off these wire nuts. Just like this. And this is 14 gauge wire back here, and as you can see, they are dead. Alright, and then the Phillips, you can take the bracket off that holds the lantern on. So we'll just unscrew these to get to the actual bracket itself. And this technique can be used for a lot of other lights too. It's not just exterior ones. It can be used for your lights that you have maybe in the bathroom that you want to change out, or a light that you have like a sconce or a hanging light, a pendant light. They're all going to be very similar. I don't know if you can see, but right here is the ground wire, so we're going to tie back into that as well. It is a little short, but you should be able to get it. But this is the box, the electrical box that it's going to mount back to the new one. But let me open up the other box and we'll get started on that. Alright, so we got all the other stuff opened up. We're going to take the new bracket with the original screws that we just pulled out, and we're going to put this back in. what this allows us to do is we can adjust it up and down as needed a little bit. So we'll kind of center it up right now, get it close to where we want. Tighten all that nice and tight. There's a ground right here for the ground wire, and that grounds the frame. So when you attach your light fixture, we have a ground wire on the back that it grounds this frame here and this ground wire here. So we're going to put those together, and it's just a safety thing. It doesn't actually make the light work or not work, but it keeps it grounded. So if there is a short, if one of the wires touches this, you go and you touch it, you don't get electrocuted. It'll ground it out. So that's the purpose behind that. So first thing though, now anytime you attach a wire to a screw, you want to make sure that you twist it clockwise, because if you go counterclockwise, as you tighten this down, it pulls it apart. So if you go clockwise, when you tighten it down, it'll pull it tighter. So anytime you, whether it's electrical outlets or light switches or anything like that, just make sure you go clockwise around any terminal. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take this wire and wrap it around this ground here. It'll help hold this up a little bit. It's nice if you have two people, one person can hold it, but we don't in this case. So and as you can see, I went clockwise, so when I tighten this up, the wire tightens with it. And then you can just tie these together. So anytime you put a pigtail on, you want to actually wrap the wire first by hand. A lot of people just take the wire, stick them in your wire nuts and twist it. That's not the right way to do it. You can cause it to short out because it doesn't have a good enough connection, which is why you always want to do it with the power off instead of trying to leave the power on and just do it that way. Alright, so we have wrapped the wire, and you want to make sure that you wrap it clockwise together, because these only go on one way, right? Is on. So what these wire nuts do is, I don't know if you can see, but inside, let's see if we can adjust it here. Well, inside here, it's a cone, and as you put the two wires together and you twist it, it tightens on it, and it'll actually keep them together the whole time. So black is going to go to black, which is your constant. The white wire will go to the white wire, which is your neutral. And like I was saying, some people, what they'll do is they'll just take these like this, they'll stick both these on like so, and then they'll twist them together. And that doesn't actually guarantee that they're going to stay seated together. So what we want to do is we actually want to twist them by hand first and then put the wire nut on. I'm going to cut this a little bit because I don't need this much for this wire nut. So we take this, and again you want to twist them clockwise together. And sometimes with these light fixtures, the wires that they give are much smaller than the ones that are in the house, so they're harder to twist. But anyway, we'll twist these together. Some people will take electrical tape and wrap around it too to hold them down. Basically just like that. We'll stuff them back in the box, get them out of the way. pinched. And then we'll do this one. And that one's probably alright. So twist them together like that. Take the wire nut. Alright, we're wired up. So, take this cap off here. Oh. Alright, don't lose that. Now on here, we have a nut and a washer. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to, depending on how your box is set up, it might be a little far back, might be further out. So what this allows us to do is adjust the post here so we can make sure to get it seated tight and secured. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, put it on here and get an idea so I can see how far it is. It's about a finger width, which is probably a little far for this. So if I leave it at that length, the post sticks out farther than my finishing nut here, so I'm going to recess this a little bit farther. And take a pair of pliers or needle nose pliers. I'm just going to use my wire strippers that I have. There. That's secure. Alright, so now we have just under ½ an inch, probably. Take this, just screw this on as well. Make sure you get fingerprints all over the glass so I can come back and clean it later. And that's pretty much it. Now we have quite a bit of an overhang here on this one, so for water to get in the carport and get behind this, it's very unlikely. You can caulk around them if you want to with an exterior silicone-based caulking. I recommend one that's paintable, so that way you can come back and paint over it. If you get silicone caulking that is not paintable, it will look pretty ugly. So we're just going to put this light bulb back in for now. It's just an LED bulb, and power on the breaker. If you turn it off at the breaker, and that's it. So pretty easy. Most light fixtures are going to be pretty much exactly like this on the inside. So if you have them in the bathroom, you want to change those out on the wall, or if you have pendant lights coming down over an island or over your kitchen sink, it's going to be the exact same way. The some other ones like your regular lights in bedrooms and stuff that hang on the ceiling usually have like this bulb light that people are changing out to different ones. It'll be exactly the same as that. So really easy to do. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, stay safe and have a good day.